Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Angela, and welcome back to my channel. I got a deck in the mail today. I'm kind of peeved because I ordered a deck Sunday. Today is 2/13/2024, the day before Valentine's Day. It is also the day before the parade because, as you know, my last video I did Sunday, which was Super Bowl Sunday, and I live in Kansas City, and the Chiefs won the Super Bowl. So tomorrow is their parade in town. I will be at work, but all of the men in my family will be at the parade. I went already to the first one we won in 2020, and I'm over it. So, I wanted to show you guys. I'm a little perturbed because I ordered a deck Sunday, or actually it was supposed to get it Sunday, and it was out for delivery from Amazon, and then all of a sudden it wasn't out for delivery anymore, and I'm like, what? And now I still don't have it. I ordered a deck yesterday, got it today, and I'm like, I feel like whoever took that order, because you can do just kind of like DoorDash, where you can take on Amazon deliveries as a regular person and make money that way too. It's another app. I feel like that person just was like, you know what? I got the order, but I'm going to go ahead and watch the game and then be hungover from it instead. So I feel like that's what's happened to my package because it arrived in Kansas City Saturday. I should have gotten it Sunday. I still haven't gotten it. So I don't know where it went. But in the meantime, I did get this other deck, and I told you guys I'm addicted to playing cards lately. I've seen these before many, many moons ago. Forgot to get it. I was reminded of it recently and decided to get it. But it is the Conjure cards by Jake Richards. It is, I don't even know who it's published by. Wiser Books. And again, Wiser Books, man. It's been a year, and this feels like wood here. It's like a wooden box. That is a Luna Moth on the front, which I am addicted to Luna Moths. It says a unique divination deck based on the authentic Headwoods traditions, folklore, and superstitions of Appalachia. Includes 54 cards and a 64-page guidebook. And I actually watched my first walkthrough of this deck earlier today. And we talked about how Jake Richards was born and raised in the Appalachian Mountains. He's done some extensive work with superstition and things like that. So I thought that was interesting because that's where this deck derives from. Secrets of the Old Time, Mountain Prophets. What deck will you be dealt? Interesting. And then it's got a book. And, ooh, nice little cardstock. Let's take that off. They're a little bit bigger than playing cards, which I think are cool, than regular playing cards. I love that it's got the Luna Moth on the back, so it can be reversed too. And I think there is reversals in here. Let's look at the book real quick. Got a preface, small print, like tiny. A note to the reader. Part 1, reading the cards. Spades. It goes right into the meanings. Hearts. Part 2, sample spreads. Past, present, future. And here it tells you, it's interesting. Okay, so if you have 2 reds and a black, it's a yes card. I guess reds mean yes, no, and black means no. And then if you have all 3 reds, it's definitely yes. Yes, and 2 no's, it's a no. And then all 3, it's a definite no. Interesting. The Josem Sweet spread. Interesting. The Bullfrog. Oh, it's information about the bullfrog. That's another. It's huge. It's just going to be a little bit of interesting read, and then it says about Jake Richards' family legacy in Appalachia. Goes back generations. He has practiced Appalachian folk magic for almost a decade and teaches classes on the subject in Jonesboro, Tennessee. It's funny because I grew up in about 15 minutes from Jonesboro, Arkansas, but it's Jonesboro instead of borough like that. Where he owns Little Chicago Conjure, a supplier of Appalachian folk magic supplies. He's the author of Doctoring the Devil and Backwoods Witchcraft. Visit him at there. That's interesting. And then to our readers. Okay, let's get in the cards. This is what we came here for. We're already 5 minutes in. These actually do feel like, they actually feel just like my deck I was using earlier. The Urban Crow Oracle by Hay House, which is interesting. It's literally the same cardstock. Interesting. And then we have a Joker. There's a cat Joker and a dog Joker. Interesting. The cat's got yellow eyes. The dog had red. Interesting. So here we have the Ace of Spades. And they all have different images. 2 of Spades. And I love the 3 of Spades. I like that they're a little bit bigger than normal card size. They do have seems like a warp to them. 4 of Spades. 5 of Spades. 6 of Spades. 7 of Spades. Now, I would see the spades as swords, but I think they actually have their own meanings in this deck. So that's why I'm not saying anything about the swords or whatever. 8 of Spades. 9 of Spades. But I love the imagery. I love that it looks hand-drawn. From what I saw in the walkthrough, 10 of Spades. And that actually completely coincides with what we know of the 10 of Swords, right? With the graveyard death. It's a death of something old. The Jack, I don't like this because it's a snake. I don't mind the spiders. Queen, which I often do see a spider as the Queen of Swords, so that's interesting also. King of Swords, beautiful. They do have a little bit of shading on them. Just a little pop of color. Interesting. But what was I saying? Yeah, that the messages for these cards that are in this book were handed down to him from his grandmother, I'm pretty sure he said, which I found even more interesting. And it's even more to me steeped in culture and ancestry work and things like that, which I find fascinating. So we have the Ace of Diamonds. I like to think of diamonds as pentacles. 2, 3, 4, 5, ain't they cute? 6, 7, 8, 9. It's a rooster with its head cut off. And of all the stuff I've seen walkthroughs, I'm like, whoa. And apparently this is the card that intrigues everybody. But I think the walkthrough I watched, she was talking about how it's representative of a spirit coming in. And I found that interesting because that's what I plan on using this deck for, is like spirit work. So I found that interesting. 10 of Diamonds. And I love that it's sunflowers. Jack. They're very simple cards, which I love. Queen of Diamonds. I see this almost like a cheaper version of, because these were like $18 on Amazon. King of Diamonds. Of the Mildred Payne Secret Pocket Oracle. Just bigger. Like a cheaper version of that if you were wanting that deck, and I feel like this has the same kind of energy. Ace of Hearts, Two of Hearts, Three of Hearts. Although this is more of a to me a tarot oracle kind of deck, whereas the other one is just an oracle deck. 4, 5 of Hearts, and yeah, there's a heart in the middle of it there with the cross looks like sticking out of it. Interesting. 6 of Hearts. I love the woodpecker here. 7 of Hearts, and I always thought this was a worm. Apparently it's the tail of a rattlesnake. 8 of Hearts. 9. I love the wishbone here. And the 10, I love that. And it looks like a heart in the pot cooking. We have the Jack of Hearts. And now I want to tell you, I've had many crazy ass dreams. Some I'm like, what was happening here? One of the wildest dreams I've ever had involved a old 50s style refrigerator. I went in and I had bought a new house. And it wasn't new, it was old, run down. There was literally holes in the walls. But I walk in and there's no electricity and there's just trash everywhere. Not trash, just like it was a hoarder's nightmare. And I had to clean all this out before I could move in. And I look up and there was an old 50s style silver refrigerator in the kitchen that's just piled high with just junk. And all of a sudden the moonlight hits the fridge a certain way and a stream is literally going across the front of the fridge of water, and it's two fish going across it just like this. And I'm like, whoa. So when I saw this on the walkthrough, I'm like, what is happening? I have crazy dreams, but this could also be used, I think, and I think they say it in the book, this deck can be used for dream interpretation also. So it's right up my alley. So we have the Queen of Hearts and the King. Those are kind of matchy. And then we have the last suit of the Ace of Clubs, which I always see as the Wands. Hearts I always see as cups, if you're referring to it as tarot. 2 of Wands or spades. No. Clubs. Looks like a mole or a rat. 3 of clubs. And I'm really actually digging this suit. 4 of clubs. Beautiful. 5 of clubs. This is probably my favorite suit in here. And I don't typically like wand suit or club suit. 6 of clubs. Beautiful. I almost feel like that's sage, probably. 7 of clubs. We got teeth everywhere. I've never had that dream where your teeth are all falling out. 8 of wands. 9 of wands. 10 of wands. The Jack, I love that. It's pairs. Queen, which I adore, and the King. So let's, that's perfect size to shuffle. It's just a little stiff because it's brand new, but it shuffles amazing. So let's pull a card and see what the book says. I'm anxious to see what the book says, and I will be using this immediately. I've actually been waiting to get this deck. I've just been, January I had to have some light decks. For a couple weeks I used very light decks, and then I went back to the darker. It was like the breathing room I needed to be able to continue working with the darker decks. So we have the 9 of spades. And it's right in the front. 9 of spades, white flowers. Following the theme of the spades is the white flower, funeral flower. What? To dream of white flowers signifies coming illness as well as witchcraft from enemies or ghosts. Interesting. I love how it talks about if you have this in a dream, blah, 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 blah. Interesting. Okay, let me get this close to see. To dream of white flowers signifies coming illness as well as witchcraft from enemies or ghosts. The 9 of spades is also known as the pallbearers, since it looks like 4 pallbearers carrying a casket in the middle. Aside from illness, this card can also mean a haunting. Since the casket isn't in the ground, it signifies a spirit walking about. Reversed, the card shows rest and ease for the living and the dead. I have full body chills. I don't know about you, but I have full body chills. Not only, of course, I am a medium, and I did just have illness, but I'm looking at it from a different perspective because there was a horrible, which I've still yet to see on the news anywhere, accident Friday night that I came upon. I didn't know there was an accident. I just knew there was about 100 cop cars on the highway. And I'm like, what is happening? Found out the next day that there was a horrible accident. It was so bad that the man had gotten cut by his seatbelt in half. And I'm like, that's horrible. But what I found interesting is Sunday night when I was outdoor dashing, I found myself in that same area and I actually got chills. Like, it's almost like this person that got killed was a bad person. Because first of all of a sudden I got creepy vibes, and I was on the highway by myself because of course the city was shut down because the game was on. And if you've ever had a team go to the Super Bowl from your city, you will know that the city just almost like it falls asleep waiting to see who wins the game. That's what happened Sunday night. I mean, it was just dead. And I found myself on the same highway that this wreck had happened. And I got instant chills, and I felt like, and I actually saw a vision of somebody holding a knife, like wielding a knife. And they were not a good person. Like, I literally felt like they were breathing on my neck. It was a horrible feeling. And after I got through that area, I realized where I was. And that brought up a question I wanted to ask you guys. Because, apparently I was open or whatever at the moment. If somebody's done something horrible, I mean, they had just, if this was a person that had done horrible things, which I sense they are someone that has done horrible things. I'm not going to go as far as murder, but that's what I felt. Like they took pleasure in cutting people or doing something to somebody with a knife. And it was a horrible, horrible feeling. And I have actually felt that feeling off and on since Sunday. Like that person is like, oh, she can see me or feel me or hear me. Let's chat. And I'm like, no. I've had to literally go in and do meditation and cut it down. Because I've felt that like that person is trying to hang around now that they know, hey, she can sense me. And it's almost like become a game for them. So now I'm like, oh no, you need to cross over or whatever happens when you go. But I feel like also that maybe that was such a violent death for them that they're like, yeah, I'm not done. Maybe they don't realize they're dead. I don't know. But I just found that interesting that that's the stinking card that comes out. in my new deck of Conjure cards, which is crazy. But let me know in the comments below if you've ever had where you felt like, it does feel like I almost knew this. Like I met somebody alive, and then they suddenly die, and all of a sudden I'm feeling their real personality. That's how it feels. So let me know in the comments below what y'all think of that. But anyway, not to get all dark and crazy, this is my new deck. It's the Conjure cards, and I already, yeah, they are no joke. So I'm going to go in here and cleanse these cards and say a blessing over them like I always do, and be done with that negative energy that's hanging out. So if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, don't hesitate to comment below. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification button so you're alerted to any future videos. Y'all have a good night.